Welcome to another JDM racing video. This time it's round 18 in Japan, Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Weather for qualifying is mixed conditions, so there is a good chance that the grid is going to be jumbled up for the race. Into Q1 then, and as you can see the conditions are quite treacherous. It is not monsoon levels, we haven't got the full wets on, there's intermediate tyres on at the moment, but as we're going to see, visibility is not that great, and we're going to struggle to post a decent lap time, I would think. Let's see as we go over the line if this is good enough to potentially take us through to Q2, and let's hopefully see if we do get through, if the weather improves. So as the session finishes, Esteban Ocon is the fastest of the session, which is a bit of a turn up for the books, and as we scroll down, we just get through to Q2. So into Q2 then, and as we saw from the results of the Q1 session, it's not going to be easy. This is a very tricky track anyway, even in the dry, but especially now in the wet. We are finding it difficult to try and get that grip and the traction out of the corners to make a difference, but hopefully we can smash this into the top 10 and get through into Q3, fastest at the time. So that provisional P1 becomes an actual P4, and Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc lead in the way. Once again then, we've seen throughout the first two sessions that we're either ends of the scale. We're either real close to getting knocked out or right up the sharp end, mixing it with the big boys. I don't know if that's being out on track at the right time in terms of the level of water that's on the track at different points in the session, or if that's just we're inconsistent in our driving, which is quite possible as well. But I'm hoping that the forecast said that it was going to dry out right towards the end of the session, so I'm hoping we can try and steal a high grid position here. Well, we didn't just steal a high grid position, we stole pole position. So I think being on track at the right time definitely helped us out with that, and I think it may even be our first pole position ever, so I mean, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's a hell of a result and a great place to start from for Sunday.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today at the Japanese Grand Prix? A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit, and the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Gardner lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, George Russell and Verstappen, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Ocon and Kevin Magnussen, Gasly, Vettel, Alex Albon and Tsunoda, Bottas, Sainz. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Lance Stroll and Mick Schumacher. Joe, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty. Latifi and Oscar Piastri. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
So we lucked out with a dry end to the qualifying session. We crossed the line right at the end, and I think that is what's done us the favour there, and having such a big gap over the rest of the field when we did finish the session. So I am expecting to get eaten up by the field at the start here. I don't think we are as quick as our grid placement suggests, but we're going to try, see what we can do from the front. Piastri in his battle with the Latifi at the back once again. Off we go then. Get the ERS going. We've only got 85%. Oof. Norris came steaming up the inside there. We've got the hard charging Verstappen trying to come through as well. Right there on the gearbox, Hamilton as well. I think we're going to be in trouble. Replay the start then. The JDM of Gardner on pole on your right, Charles Leclerc on your left. What a start from Charles Leclerc. Gets up into the lead of the race. Lando Norris following through. So Charles Leclerc, that's a great thing to happen for his championship. Getting into the lead and now leading. That's what he would have wanted. And Lando Norris there, having an excellent day, and he will hope that he can maintain this for the remainder of the race. Oh, Verstappen has punted us into a half spin. And we've dropped down the order to just outside the points. And Verstappen there, no damage I don't think, but I'm going to try and dive back up the inside to get in the points here. Verstappen has cost us. A bit further around the lap, we've got the JDM of Gardner, followed by Max Verstappen. He runs a little bit wide there, and Verstappen punts him sort of halfway around, catches the spin, but does drop to 10th place. Probably going to drop to 11th. There we go. So the Alpha Tauri going down the inside, or around the outside. And now Gardner has got a fight back on his hands. Retakes the AlphaTauri at the chicane. Now has to compose himself and try and make a fight back up to the top positions again. On board with Max Verstappen, the JDM run a little bit wide there. And that's, I mean, that looked like a little bit of a punt there to me. So a little tap round. I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards give some sort of penalty for that. That did look quite suspect. I mean, you could argue that the JDM was coming back from semi off the circuit after sort of outbreaking himself a little bit. But Verstappen there elbows out and punts the JDM around. Moves up into third. We'd have to look at that on a replay to see if he's just completely wiped us there, or if we've like cut across him in some way. I had no idea he was going to be there. We dive up the inside of Gasly at the hairpin.
Nice move, good job.
Leave him some room on the inside, which then becomes the outside. Now we're going to have to chase after the Alpines, who we are fighting with in the Constructors Championship. So we could really do with getting in front of one or two of them. Shouldn't have to worry too much about tyre wear, because these obviously will be fresh softs that have gone onto the car after the full intermediate running. Just going to try and tag onto the back of Ocon. Get in this DRS zone and try and get away from Gasly. And we manage it. Hards? Really? To change that. So on lap 6, Charles Leclerc still leading the race. Now pits for Ferrari. Norris continues. So Leclerc, what kind of pit stop is this going to be? It looks fairly decent, no issues there. So Leclerc will rejoin. There's his teammate on the track. Sainz goes through. And is he going to get in front of the Haas there? No. So Charles Leclerc rejoins and has a little bit of work to do. Hopefully, for his sake, he's not going to lose too much time behind this traffic to Norris when he pits. Alright, let's get ready to pit then. Split the Alpines, hopefully. In terms of strategy, anyway. Yeah, so we follow Ocon in, Alonso carries on. Let's see if the undercut works.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane. lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
In we come.
I think there's an error with the attachment of one of the...
No!
Oh, they'll be disappointed here.
4.4. So we've dropped. Dropped a couple of seconds. That's been one of our main weaknesses, really, in the pit stops. So we come out, we've lost a little bit of time to Ocon.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
We've still got time on Gasly, so it could have been worse. Just doesn't help us in our battle against the Alpines, that's all. Now we've got to try and fight and claw to get back in that DRS range. So here's race leader Lando Norris on lap 7. Going for the overcut potentially on Charles Leclerc, who was leading the race. He does pit, so let's see then if the undercut has worked for Charles Leclerc or if the overcut is going to work for Lando Norris. Looks like there was maybe a slight problem on the right rear there, which I don't believe is going to have helped Lando Norris. There is Charles Leclerc. You saw him in the background just entering the top of your screen. And Leclerc goes through, so I think McLaren there dropped the ball on that pit stop. And Norris will return back to the track in a net second position. But the advantage that he may have gained was lost, as there was a couple of seconds there. It looked like, at least, on that right rear tyre.
Oscar's coming in for his stop now. Gap to your teammate ahead is 6.7 seconds.
This is going to be close with the Ferrari on the exit. Sainz trying to fight his way up the field after starting further down after a penalty. Interesting that Ferrari have gone with the hards again. They must have real issues with their tyre deg. Whoa, and looks like Perez has overtaken Alonso at the hairpin there. He's bunching the pack up a little bit. We're keeping Sainz outside of DRS at the moment, but he has got that horrible warm-up phase going on. So we've got the DRS. Ocon does not. He's going to go to the inside to try and block us. We go down the outside and get the move done.
Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy.
And now we split the Alpines. Hopefully we'd push Ocon back into Sainz. Getting a good slipstream here. Oh, just have to back off the throttle a little bit. We dive down the inside at the chicane and pushed. We get the DRS as well. We've pushed Alonso into his teammate. Alonso on the hard tyres. We're rolling up to 7th. Okay, so fuel is a little bit marginal. We need to do a little bit of lift and coast. Fastest lap.
Okay, clear.
We caught back up with Verstappen. He was just in front of his teammate there. Let's use the RS to try and get past him.
And the car behind. Really good stuff.
Getting the move done on Perez. And we join the JDM on lap 11 into lap 12, following Sergio Perez down the start-finish straight, has the DRS open, down the inside into turn 1. Nice clean move. And now can look forward and focus on trying to get Max Verstappen in the closing stages of the race as payback for what happened earlier on. Come streaming down the inside of Max Verstappen. We leave a little bit extra on the table.
Good job. Nice overtake. Okay, this is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
We're going to be marginal on fuel as well. So here we are a bit further around the lap. Gardner following that Red Bull into the chicane, goes down the inside. Ooh, just leaves a little bit extra on that before he turned in. Elbows out at the dinner table, tries to break the toe. And continues into the last lap in 5th place, gets past both Red Bulls. They haven't looked that quick on ultimate pace today. So here we go then, Charles Leclerc rounding the last couple of turns. He has controlled this race today from start to finish. Charles Leclerc wins for Ferrari and takes his 4th win of the season. Charles Leclerc has been fantastic today, as has Lando Norris, to be fair. So fantastic result for Ferrari, and they will be feeling in a good mood going into the last couple of races, in control of both championships. Leclerc's nicked back the fastest lap. DRS over the line as we're running out of fuel. We make it. Get our revenge on Verstappen. And we get the 5th place. It's a good comeback drive, to be fair. Just a shame
They've done it then, here at Suzuka.
after the pole to not get on the podium, but we'll take it. We'll beat the Alpines. That was our main target for the season anyway.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible
Charles Leclerc
result?
closing in on that driver's title, it seems.
The main contributing factor out on track was speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
are a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
So Charles Leclerc taking another victory for Ferrari, and he will be feeling like the momentum is with him going into the last few races. Okay, let's unpack this one then. Charles Leclerc wins the Japanese Grand Prix from Lando Norris in the McLaren. What a fantastic result for the McLaren team. Up in second, and also worth noting that Charles Leclerc, it takes the extra point for fastest lap on the last lap, and just narrowly beats out Norris for fastest lap as well. So very, very fast, those two up front. A little bit of a gap back to the rest of the field as well, so they must have been having a ding-dong battle at the front. The Mercedes, third and fourth, Lewis Hamilton leading home George Russell. So that's a decent result for them. We come home fifth, which is disappointing after dropping down from pole, but after the punt from Verstappen in the opening laps, to fight back, get past the Alpines, get through some of the other cars down there as well around the lower points paying positions. That's a job well done, and we've earned those 10 points today. Red Bull, I mean, karma came back round for them. They were 6th and 7th on the grid. They finished 6th and 7th in the race, and Verstappen paying for what he did to us earlier in the race. Can't say I'm displeased to see him fall back behind us at the end either. Perez just following his teammate home, was slightly quicker on the day though, 1/10 faster in terms of fastest lap for them. So not great in terms of the direct rivalry with Ferrari. They're going to have dropped some points there, but they're lucky that Sainz was having an off day. Maybe had some engine parts that he changed out. Started 16th and could only get up to 10th in the end. So with Leclerc winning, but Sainz only finishing 10th, they've managed to get away with that a little bit in terms of damage limitation, but that's still quite a hefty chunk of points that they've lost there. Alpine, they have had a double points finish, Alonso and Ocon. Alonso, of course, retiring at the end of the season. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Ocon has got to raise his game, because Alonso is leaving the team at the end of the season. Ocon is the one who's following him home most times, so and half a second slower on the day as well. So, I mean, good in terms of a double points finish, but not good in terms of them losing more ground to JDM in the Constructors battle. Sainz with the final point, as we said. Gasly, not quite at it. I don't think Gasly is a very good driver. We know that. But I don't think that this particular AlphaTauri this season is allowing him to showcase his talent. That's what I will say. Magnussen beats out his teammate. So Schumacher down is 17th. So Magnussen beating Schumacher. Schumacher had been the form Haas driver the last couple of races. Sebastian Vettel. I want to say that's a decent result for him, based on the fact that he'd been finishing down the back most times that I can remember in recent times. So to sort of finish midfield in a not very good Aston Martin car is going to be it's going to do wonders for his confidence. Let's put it that way. Albon, he continues to outperform that Williams car, with his teammate finishing in 20th. So again, not great from the Williams team. Ricciardo, I mean, he started 20th. His teammate finished on the podium. I don't know what else can be said at this point. It kind of mirrors real life, where one driver is similar for us though. Piastri finishing nowhere and we're up in 5th, so it does happen. But it's an odd one. I don't know if Danny Rick is going to renew for next year in terms of the game for season 2, but we'll have to see. But that looks very suspect. I'm not sure what's going on there with Danny Rick. Sonoda, he doesn't finish anywhere close to his teammate, 10 seconds down the road. Again, so there's a bit of disparity in between the two cars there. Bottas finishes in front of Zhou, as we've seen for most of the season. But again, that Alfa Romeo not looking like a very good car. And Piastri, I mean, he's there or thereabouts, right? He was only a second off the back of Zhou, but something's not clicking with Piastri at the moment. We might have to look at whether we keep him on and invest in the future, or whether we just cut him loose and try and get somebody a little bit more competent. Let me know in the comments in terms of that, and we'll take a look at the standings. So Charles Leclerc actually now is opening up a little bit of a gap at the top. So not only does he overtake Max Verstappen, but he's now got a 15-point lead. So Leclerc starting to assert some kind of dominance, but it's been such a topsy-turvy season. I wouldn't be surprised if Verstappen comes back next race and closes the gap or retakes the lead or something like that. Ferraris and Red Bulls, as you would expect, to be at the top there. Hamilton best of the rest. Norris with his second place has stayed in front of George Russell, but it's interesting, those McLarens and Mercedes battling each other there. Norris and Russell seem to be the closest, and we are comfortably clear of Alonso now in our 8th place in the Drivers' Championship. Only 10 points now off the back of George Russell. In terms of constructors, Ferrari 39 points ahead of Red Bull, and the only other thing to mention is that we are pretty much stranded in 5th place, and we've pretty much almost got like double the amount of points that Alpine have got now. So I think we're comfortable with only 4 races or 3 races left to go, that we can bring home that 5th place, which is, I would not have expected that at the start of the season. So that is the Japanese Grand Prix. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have not subscribed but you do want to, for either this series or the wrestling series that's going on, well, it's not really a series, but the wrestling videos that are going on, then be sure to subscribe, because I will endeavour to make at least some kind of content every week. Maybe not every day, but certainly I'll keep a steady stream of videos coming out. And yeah, thanks for watching, and until the next video, I will just say bye.